In this tutorial, we will go over the report section of SOLA. Since this is the reporting section of the website, there's no input that you will be making in this area, but this will likely be the place that you look at most regularly as you interact with the system. When you go to reports, you will see 5 tabs. Before we go into detail on those tabs, it is important to first look at the filters you have on the top. These filters will impact what you are seeing, so you should always be sure to take a look at these before you go into the reports. The first 3 filters allow you to select a subset of contacts that you want to see the data on. This could be very helpful if you are receiving donations from multiple currencies and want to see only reports for donors from each one separately. This could also be helpful if you have used tags and want to see only gifts from donors with a specific tag. The most important filter is the date. By default, this will show you the prior 12 months, but if you click on this filter, you can look at results over any time frame that you want to. Be sure you look at this when you compare your fund balances so that you are looking at the right months. Now on to the actual reports. The first report is a donations report. This gives you a list of all gifts toward your ministry or project across a time frame set in the upper right. You will also see metrics and charts at the very top to help give more detail on your account and how donations are progressing versus the prior year. One interesting chart in the bottom right shows the breakdown of all the donors based on how often they give. If you change the timeline to reflect the entire history of giving, you can see the total donations to your account. In the table below, you will see all donations sorted by date, with additional details such as the fund that the gift was given to. And you can always export this table to Excel. In the next tab, you can see donor giving by month. This is a great way to visually see whether donors are recurring donors or whether they have stopped giving regularly. If you do see a recurring giver, you can click on their name, go to their profile page, and add a pledge for their regular gift. On the Pledges tab, you will see a list of all active and lapsed donors who have a pledge attached to their contact. If you have a budget for the monthly regular giving that you need toward your account, you can compare the pledged gift amount here to that monthly budget. You can also see the different time frames that your donors are giving in. There are multiple statuses that SOLA uses for a pledge. A pending pledge is one that you have added and are waiting an answer on. An active pledge is when a donor is giving within the time frame and the amount that you have set. A lapsed pledge is one where the donor either gave less than they committed to or they did not give within the time frame. Please be aware that this does not mean that you should immediately contact that donor, but rather that you should keep an eye on this pledge in the coming weeks. It is possible that they are only a few days or weeks behind in their giving. The only exception to this may be donors that agree to give yearly. In this case, since it's harder for them to be reminded of this gift, it might be helpful to contact the donor as a friendly reminder. Finally, you will see a donor enter inactive status once they have gone over 2 months without a gift. In that case, they will be automatically taken off this pledge list. The Donors tab is a report that shows all donors over a certain time frame, their current commitment, and their current status toward your account. This also helps you to see a list of new donors and lapsed donors. The last tab is the fund balance. On this tab, you will see all funds that are connected to this specific account. You will see a starting balance, the inflows and outflows, as well as the ending balance. If you have multiple funds over multiple currencies, you will see these funds in separate sections and in the currency of that fund. If you click on a specific fund name, you can see a list of all the transactions toward that fund over the time frame that you have selected in the upper right. This is a great place to make sure everything looks correct. And if you have any specific questions, you can contact the accounting team connected to your organization. The final thing I want to go over is the exchange rate and currency selection in SOLA. Each account that you view in SOLA in the upper dropdown has a specific currency that it is shown in. This was set by the admin for your account. That currency determines what the default is for all of these reports. But at any time you can adjust this on your own by selecting the currency filter and then the dropdown inside this filter. What SOLA will do is convert all amounts to this currency based on the current exchange rate. Why is this important? Let's imagine you are someone who lives in Europe and is paid in euros, but you receive donations in dollars, in pounds, and euros. With SOLA, you will have the ability to enter pledges for those donations across all those currencies, and then see a total amount of monthly giving in euros, which is the currency that you are paid your salary in. Since the exchange rate is always changing, this total pledge amount will change from day to day, but it represents the most accurate current pledge amount toward your ministry across all currencies. To see details on other parts of SOLA, please see the tutorial videos on the dashboard, the contacts, and plan.